Geno Auriemma, one of the most iconic coaches in women's basketball, has found himself in the middle of a storm. The reason? His recent comments siding with referees against Caitlin Clark, the rising superstar who's been turning women's basketball into must-watch TV.
Caitlin Clark hater extraordinaire in Geno Auriemma, and look, there's no doubt that he's one of the greatest college.
And let's be honest, people are mad, really mad. Auriemma publicly defended referees for their tough officiating against Clark, saying it's about maintaining professionalism and keeping the game clean. But for fans, this feels like more than just a basketball debate. They see it as an attack on Clark's fiery personality and bold style of play, and they're not having it.
Geno owns a stake in the new league unrivaled. Now I really don't want to see Caitlin Clark go over there, seriously.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement. She's aggressive, confident, and unapologetically herself on the court. Her style of play is electrifying, and her trash talk adds an edge that fans can't get enough of. She's the kind of player who brings new energy and excitement to women's basketball, a sport that, let's face it, hasn't always gotten the attention it deserves. Clark's games are a spectacle. She's pulling in viewers who wouldn't normally tune in, and social media lights up with every insane play she makes. She's not just playing basketball, she's making it cool. So when someone like Auriemma speaks out against her, it's no surprise that people take it personally. Here's the thing, fans aren't just upset about Auriemma's comments. They're furious because it feels like Clark is being unfairly targeted. They've noticed that referees seem to whistle her for things other players get away with. Whether it's her intense defense or her on-court swagger, she's getting penalized for being herself. Auriemma's defense of the referees feels like adding insult to injury. Fans believe Clark's personality and style are what make her special. By trying to tone her down, it's like Auriemma is saying there's no room for players who dare to stand out. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. Clark is the face of a new era in women's basketball, one where players aren't afraid to show their personalities and play with passion. Fans love her because she's breaking the mold and making the sport more exciting. Auriemma, on the other hand, represents the old guard. He's built his career on discipline, control, and a traditional approach to the game. His comments feel like an attempt to hold on to that tradition, even as the sport evolves around him. For many fans, it's a clash between the past and the future of women's basketball. Social media has been on fire since Auriemma made his comments. Fans are calling him out, saying he's out of touch with the modern game. Many feel betrayed because Auriemma has always been a champion for women's basketball. Why, they wonder, would he criticize a player who's bringing so much attention to the sport? Even other players are weighing in. Some are worried that this kind of scrutiny sends the wrong message to young athletes. It's like the sport is saying, be bold, but not too bold. Be confident, but don't stand out too much. And that's not exactly inspiring for the next generation of players. Clark hasn't directly addressed Auriemma's comments, but she doesn't need to. Her response comes every time she steps onto the court. She's still playing with the same intensity, still drawing massive crowds, and still proving why she's one of the most exciting players in basketball today. If anything, this controversy seems to be fueling her even more. Fans are rallying behind her, and her star power is only growing. Instead of silencing her, Auriemma's comments have turned her into an even bigger symbol of resilience and defiance. For Auriemma, this is a tricky situation. His comments have put his legacy under scrutiny. He's spent decades building a reputation as a trailblazer for women's basketball, but now it feels like he's standing in the way of its evolution. Fans are asking tough questions. Is Auriemma really protecting the integrity of the game, or is he trying to maintain control in a sport that's rapidly changing? And how will this controversy affect his place in the history of women's basketball? This controversy has highlighted a bigger issue. Women's basketball is at a turning point. It can either stick to its traditional roots or embrace the new wave of players like Clark, who are bringing excitement, energy, and individuality to the sport. One thing is clear, Caitlin Clark isn't going anywhere. She's the future of the game, whether the old guard likes it or not. And for fans, that's a future worth fighting for.